Hi everybody, it's Donna from donnasdreamworks.blogspot.com, and I thought I'd show you quickly how I put together this really cute birthday card. It's not a difficult card, there's no great new techniques I'm showing you, but I did think that this really came out especially cute and I wanted to share it with you. This was inspired by some papers that I was able to pick up at Michael's this week. They were 4 for $1 for some of their open stock paper. And so as you can see, I've made 2 cards. I still have this much left of one sheet, so you get at least 4 card sheets out of each one. This one is called Cupcake, as you can obviously tell. It's really cute, and it really inspired me on this card because there's so many. But let's get busy, and I'll show you how I made this one. As you can see, I have a blue card base here. This is a standard A2 5.5 by 4 1/4, and I made the second card, the one we're going to work on, also has a standard blue card base. It's a little bit different shade of blue, as you can see, okay? What these are is, you know, when you make a 4 1/4 by 5.5 card out of 8.5 paper, you get 2, so I always have a bunch of these left over. So this time I pulled the pink out of this paper, and on this card I'm going to pull the green out of this paper, and so they'll be the same but just a little bit different. So what I have done here is I've cut a green mat, and I cut the green mat just an 1/8 of an inch smaller because I wanted a very narrow border around the card. And then, of course, we have the printed paper mat. And but you're going to start by just putting these two together. And on this one, I did cut it the 1/4 inch smaller so that the mat around it is a little bit bigger, because as you see on the first card I made, I did some white doodling around the edge. The next thing I'm going to do is to put together the ribbon, and I'm going to use a cheater method. Now these are a little bit long, but they're pieces that I already had cut, so I'm going to use those today and see if we can make them work. Well, I have a piece of tape big enough for both ends, so let me just cut it in half. There we go. And we'll just put one here. And we'll put one here. Okay. There, I like that one a little better. Okay, and let's cut the edges off here with my handy dandy hairdressing scissors. And I think that'll work. Okay, and the next thing we need to do is to put the cake together. This cake was cut from my kitchen, and it is found, and I don't remember the page, and it could take me 10 minutes to hunt through here and find it. Oh, I found it. It is on page 63, right here, and I cut the cake and its layers at 3 inches. And I have to tell you, I actually did this without the use of my Gypsy. I'm surprised I remembered how to put the cartridge in and just do it in a regular way. But I didn't really need to size things to layer them because the layers all work fine together. Alright, we'll just put our yellow layer on. And again, you'll see on this particular card, because I used a green mat, got that a little low, but the pink's going to cover it up. Because I used a green mat, I'm using a green dish. think we go this way. And you know, I've seen a lot of people with these tweezers, and it was funny because I happen to have some of these tweezers. I also make jewelry, and these are the kind of tweezers you use for jewelry making, also to hold the beads and the beading wires. I'm sorry, you probably have my head in your view. There we go. But you're right, they do come in very handy for these little pieces. If I had remembered to put my glasses on so I could see how to get it in the little piece. I should have used my skinnier glue pen. I'll get that one for the next one. There you go, and that's basically all there is to putting together that cake. Not a whole lot to it. There are a couple of tiny little yellow pieces made that you can shape. They're like little crescents to make it look highlighted. I think they're just plain too small, so I didn't bother to use those. So what I'm going to do with this now is pop it up on some foam squares. And I just used the last of them, so I'll take out some foam tape. I have a piece that's pretty good here already. Now let's see if this is going to be too wide. No, it'll work just fine. And before I put this on here, which I didn't do the first time and made my job harder, I'm going to put it onto the base card. Because of course it's so elevated then once you've got that cake on there, you're trying to tape across big bumps. Sorry, I went right out of the frame. Alright, now we can put our cake on. And I'm going to put it right about like this. Now the sentiment is a stamp, a Hero Art stamp that I've had for a long time. It's just a happy birthday stamp. I used my Cuttlebug to cut out a couple of scallop circles. We'll just put those together. And I put those up on some smaller foam squares. I get these foam squares at my local craft store, and I enjoy these a lot. They're very easy to work with in that the top pieces peel off quite easily. Sometimes you get them in, I can't get the piece off. There we go. Okay, now want to add a little bling, and if you notice on this card we added some bling up here, and what I did is I just made it long enough to go underneath the 3 cupcakes that happen to be at the top of this card. And there aren't any cupcakes at the top of this card, but there is the word chocolate. So what I'm going to do, just kind of measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And we'll just outline the word chocolate. Now on my first card I used some pink stickles on the frosting. I don't have any green stickles, so what we're going to do is to add some green glitter. And I have to tell you, I have my overhead fan on, so I may have glitter everywhere by the time I finish. So we'll see. Get a nice layer of glue on here. Well, there we go. A minute there, I didn't think I'd get the top off. Okay, that looks kind of pretty. I'm going to put some on the smaller pieces too, even though you don't normally have that on a cake. It just adds a little something. You know, you could never have too much glitter or bling on your card, in my estimation. And maybe I'm going to get some glue out of this, and maybe I'm not. There we go. We'll just dump it on there, and then we can dump it back. Well, that came out nice. I like that. That's very pretty, very blingy, very birthday-ish, and very simple. So there you go. Sometimes the paper you buy is inspiration for the cards you make. Simple but nice. Thanks for stopping by Donna'sDreamWorks.blogspot.com. I'll be back again soon with the beginning stages of a special card I'll be making for my sister's birthday. Talk to you later. Play nice. Bye-bye.